Friends, hello and welcome on techguruspeaks.com. Today I would like to discuss about Java interface. We can think of Java interface as a special kind of class which is having static final fields and abstract methods. It is Java's answer to solve multiple inheritance problem which basically occurs with respect to Java classes. Since Java classes do not support the concept of multiple inheritance, that means there is no way that we can create a class from more than one superclasses. So in order to solve this problem, Java gives us the option that can be done by using interface. Interface can be used to define a generic template and then one or more abstract classes to define partial implementation of it. Obviously you can have concrete class to provide full implementation. Interfaces just specify the method declaration, like all the methods are by default public and abstract and can contain only public, static and final fields. Interface definition begins with the keyword interface. It is like that of an abstract class since it cannot be instantiated. So that is the similarity between abstract class and interface. It is basically used to achieve full abstraction. While by using abstract class you can achieve partial abstraction, here you can achieve full abstraction. Multiple inheritance is allowed when extending interfaces. Like one interface can extend none, one or more interfaces. It also represents the user relationship, that means the inheritance relationship. Since the Java classes don't support multiple inheritance, Java programming allows us to extend one class and implement many interfaces. So basically, there is a keyword named implements by using which you can create a class from many interfaces. So that is the idea or concept of Java interface that we are going to implement by using one of the most popular IDEs of Java programming named NetBeans. So let's move to the NetBeans IDE for coding demonstration. So first I will be creating a class here. So it is named interface test. So first I will be creating an interface here, say for example named figure. It is having an field named say pi, which is having the value 3.14, say for example. Now it is having one abstract method that is named area, which is having two parameters, length and breadth. As I have told before, like all the fields in the interface are by default public, static and final. So that means once declared, its value cannot be modified. So that is why after being initialized once, it cannot be modified. That we will see later whenever I will be having the main method from where I will be calling this particular variable. So this is the example of public, static, final, field. And next comes an abstract method, though you don't have to specify the abstract keyword here, and it is by default public also. So the interface fields are by default public, static and final, and the interface methods are by default public and abstract. So that is why you don't have to specify the abstract keyword like you did with respect to the definition of abstract class, because the abstract class may contain concrete method as well as abstract method. So that is why in order to distinguish between them, you needed to use the abstract keyword, but there is no requirement of using the abstract keyword for a particular kind of abstract method. So that is why we have not used the abstract keyword here. So it is the interface. So it is better to write here, it is basically a super interface, because from this interface we are going to create two classes. Say for example class rectangle. So since we are going to create a class from an interface, it is using implements keyword. So it is showing error because I have not implemented the abstract methods, because it will be going for full abstraction. So all the abstract methods must be implemented fully. So that is the idea. So now I would like to create one more subclass which is named circle. So that is the formula pi r square. So r is getting replaced by length, that is a notion of radius here. Now so it is the subclass of figure. Similarly circle is also a subclass of figure interface. Now I would like to create the main method from where I will be creating a reference of the interface named figure. As I have told before, the similarity between abstract class and the interface is that they cannot have object, but they can have object references. So it is the reference of figure interface. So I cannot write here like this, as I have tested with respect to abstract class also. It is not allowed in Java. So it cannot have object. So now I will be initializing this object reference with the object of its subclass. Say for example I am using here rectangle. So it is done, there is no problem here. Now say for example, before creating the object of the subclass, I would like to access the value of, or I would like to say I would like to access this variable named pi here. Since I have told it like it's a static, final and public, so I can access it from here by using the interface name directly. So figure dot pi, that I can do. So if I am running this program, so you can see it here, like by using the interface name I can access this particular variable directly. That means what? It is basically like a static field, though I have not written the keyword static here, but it is by default static. Another thing I would like to mention here, say for example I would like to modify the value of this variable. Say for example, I would like to write here 2.59. So it is not allowed here because we cannot assign a value to a final variable. So that is the definitive proof that it is basically a final variable. So I have to comment this, otherwise it will give you compilation error. So I have proved that it is by default static and final both, because it can be accessed directly by mentioning the interface name, and if you are trying to access this value, you can access it but you cannot modify it. That means it is a final variable which cannot be modified once initialized. Now I have created an object of the rectangle subclass, and it is now pointed by the super interface reference f. So now I can calculate the area here for rectangular area. So here I will be writing f dot area. Say for example, I will be writing at 2010. So it will be showing you the area value. So the super interface reference f has been initialized with the object of the subclass named rectangle. Similarly, I can initialize this value with, like, I mean to say, this reference by the subclass object circle. So it is area 2, and suppose I am using a 10, it is 0. Just writing the statement for the circle object and try to access its area method. So it is showing the result. So basically, by using the subclass object, it is now being pointed by the super interface reference, like the reference of the super interface figure. Now by using this reference, since it is being pointed by the object of the circle class, so we can access its method, that is the specific implementation. So all these are basically using the concept of method overriding. So in that way we can calculate the area for it. So that is the idea. Another thing is that I have not specified here public, but whenever I will be trying to say implement it in terms of method overriding, I must write here public. So otherwise it will give you compilation error, because all the methods are by default abstract and public. So that is the specialty of Java interface. So in that I have tried to understand, like I have tried to demonstrate you how can you create an interface and how can you create the subclasses from the given super interface. And it can have references only which can point towards the object of the subclasses. Then only you can have the access to the specific implementation of the overridden method in the subclasses. So that is the idea that I have tried to implement here. Now I will be giving you some interesting example with respect to Java interface. Suppose for example, I have got two classes, class A and class B. First I would like to give you the drawback of Java classes if I am to implement multiple inheritance in Java. So if I am writing here class C extends A comma B, it is basically not allowed in Java. So that is the drawback of Java classes. So that is why, so if I am trying to write here, say for example, say class C extends A comma B, it is not allowed in Java, because multiple inheritance is not allowed in Java. So that is why it is giving you compilation error. Okay, so now we have to comment it. Now suppose we have already learnt about the concept of interface. So if the class A is written as interface A, similarly class B is getting replaced by interface B. Basically, now we have got two interfaces A and B instead of having two classes A and B. So now I can write here interface C A comma B. So there is no problem. That means in that way we can give you the option of multiple inheritance in Java in terms of interfaces. So the multiple inheritance problem of Java classes has been solved here by using the concept of interface. Now say for example, I have got another class. Say for example, this is the only class till now apart from the main class program test. So it is named D, empty body. Now I would like to create another class. Say for example, that will extend D but implements C. So that is actually using the concept of multiple inheritance here. Same concept, like a class can have more than one parent. So that is made possible with respect to interface. The concept is also applicable with respect to a class, provided we are actually using here implements keyword. But remember that you have to write extends first followed by implements. So if you are writing like this, implements followed by extends, it will give you compilation error. Like you cannot write here a class implements an interface then extends a class. This particular statement is not being supported in Java. So that is why we have to write extends first then implements. So that is the idea you need to remember here. Another important thing I need to demonstrate you, that is with Java SE8 the interfaces can have default method and static method. So that I would like to demonstrate you. Say for example, it is having a method, better to say a default method, say named square sqr, which is basically taking one parameter. It is of int type, return type is int. So I will be having a return statement here. So x into x. So it is now allowed in Java with the introduction of Java SE8. Now suppose in interface B I will be having a static method. Say static sum, int sum, better to say int a comma int b. So it will have a return statement in it, say return a plus b. So that is a new concept in Java. Like the old definition states that an interface is a special kind of class which is having public static final fields and public and abstract methods. But with the introduction of Java SE8, you can say that an interface can have default method as well as static method. So that I have written here. In interface A I have got a default method, and in interface B I have got a static method. Now I will be having the main class named program test. So first I will be trying to call this particular method by using this interface name. So what is the name of the interface? B. So now I can call it directly because It is a static method. Say for example I am writing a 10 and 20. So it is showing the result accordingly. Now suppose I would like to call this method, that is a default method. So by using interface A, you cannot have access to this method because it is an interface, so it cannot have objects. So you need to create an object of its, like its subclasses following the hierarchy. Say for example I am writing here A OB, that is the name of the object reference. An interface can have object reference, there is no problem. So now I'll be writing here new E. So it is a concrete class. E is basically a concrete class. So I can write here. So now I can have access to this particular method by using the interface reference, because it is now being pointed by the object of its subclasses following the hierarchy downwards. So now I can write here ob dot sqr. Say for example I will be writing or passing here the value as 6. So now I will be trying to run this, so it will be showing the result accordingly. So better to write result 2. So in that way it will be giving you the result correctly. So I hope that you have understood the new concept that is being added to interface. Like in the say according to the older definition, it was having say public static and final fields and public and abstract methods only. But with the introduction of Java SE 8, an interface can have default method as well as a static method. So that I have tried to include here. In interface A I have got a default method, and in interface B I have got a static method. So now we can have a hierarchy, and I have tried to create the respective objects to access the default method by one of its subclasses down the hierarchy. And I can also call this a static method by using the interface name directly. So that I have done here, and you can see the result. So I hope that you have understood the logic behind this program. So with this I conclude today. I hope that you have enjoyed this video and have understood the concept of interface. Now you can write your own program using this concept. So if you like this video, then please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Here comes the URL of my YouTube channel, and please visit my website techguruspeaks.com. You will get lot of useful information here. And finally the official email ID, that is admin@techguruspeaks.com. You can communicate with me by using this mail. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.